While I run many different affiliate sites, most of them are small niche sites that cater to a very specific audience. They also make various amounts of income ranging from several thousand per month to a few $100s per month. Although I'm very happy with my portfolio, in 2021 my aim was to become more ambitious, so I embarked on one of my biggest projects just yet. I wanted to build a huge affiliate site in a niche that I was truly passionate in. The problem with building such a complex site is that it requires a lot of work, and I just don't have the time nor the desire to engage in such a task. After all, such a site would easily have over 1,000 pieces of content on it. And that's where Fiverr comes in. Thanks to the magic of the internet, you can pay for any kind of task out there, especially tasks that you do not want to do yourself. And that's exactly what I did. But before I show you exactly how I built the site, let's talk a little bit about what exactly is an affiliate site and what kind of site I decided to build. And so if we check out this article here, it says 25 affiliate marketing website examples and how much money they make. You're gonna learn exactly what an affiliate site is and what kind of money you can possibly make with a specific affiliate marketing site and how much money I plan to make with my site as well. And so if we scroll down, we have this site here. It's called Own the Yard. It's supposedly making $4,000 per month. The owner posted screenshots here. If we scroll down, we have the Penny Hoarder, and it sold for $102.5 million. Okay, so it says here at the end of 2020, as reported by St. Pete Catalyst, the site's revenue for the previous 12-month period was reported to be approximately $1 million per week. Okay, and this is the site. Next, we have Finn versus Finn, $50,000 per month. The owners of Finn versus Finn reported the September 2020 update. That site was earning a revenue of $50,000 per month. Simply Insurance, $50,000 per month. Lovely Life, $20,000 per month. SF Tourism Tips, $4,500 per month. And and then you have Survival Life, $100,000 per month. And so that should give you a general idea of how much sites like this can earn. But also I want to point out that a lot of these sites on this list are what I call professional affiliate marketing sites. They're not these small niche sites that somebody just created over a span of an afternoon or a couple of days, put 3 or 5 articles or 10, 15 articles on it and just called it a day, right? These are serious professional sites. And this is the exact type of site that I set out to build. And I also want to show you the biggest site of them all, maybe one of the most famous sites of them all. And this is the Wirecutter. You may have heard about it, you may have not heard about it, it really depends. But this is an extremely popular site, and they do a lot of reviews, product comparisons, buying guides, stuff like that. And this site was actually sold to the New York Times in 2011 for millions of dollars. I don't remember the exact figure, but it was definitely a lot of money, especially back in the day when these affiliate marketing sites weren't that well known as they are now. And so if you could take a look at this, we have popular, best coolers, best air conditioner, best air fryer. We have home and garden, we have tech, sleep, kitchen, appliances, gifts. And so you have a lot of these categories here, and you have a lot of these products. And it's worth pointing out, when you're starting out, you do not want to create a site such as this one, because this site has been around for quite a while. It has built some credibility, it has some authority. And so a site like this can go out and can branch out into different niches. The first thing that you should think about when you're building an affiliate marketing site is the niche. And this is something that I spent a lot of time thinking about, eventually settling in on a specific niche. And so this niche would also be broad enough to keep me interested in building and maintaining the site for years to come, and most importantly, have a broad appeal to an audience in the long run as well. Now, it's worth mentioning again that this isn't going to be one of those simple review or top 10 sites. This would be a serious, beefy information site about a particular niche. And so the niche that I settled on was photography and videography, and mainly various pieces of gear that you need for this specific hobby or profession. What I envisioned was a review, specs, equipment, and comparison site, something to the tune of a real portal that would attract a mass audience instead of a small niche site that would only be getting a handful amount of traffic per day. This site would contain information on all of the camera models, their specs, and based on that data, I would create reviews, comparisons, and other information that would be super helpful for people that are in the market for a new piece of equipment. The next thing that I thought about was monetization, which is extremely important, especially if you start to view this whole project as a business instead of a hobby. And so before starting this project, I had already researched the monetization model for the site, so I knew that my efforts would be paid off eventually. The site would make its money via two ways: Google AdSense and Amazon affiliate income. That last one was super crucial because while every site can be eventually monetized with Google AdSense, monetizing via affiliate marketing was also super important because it meant I'd look forward to another stable and hopefully powerful source of income. Now that I figured out the monetization potential, I knew exactly what kind of niche I wanted to work in. The next step was to think about the name and eventually register a domain name. And for that, I can recommend you a really good site called instantdomainsearch.com. And this is where you can check for various domain names, where you can see if the domain that you want is available or not, and you can go and register it all on the same site. Now, I want to make a very, very important point here is that you don't want to spend too much time and effort thinking about the perfect name. There is no such thing as the perfect name, and the goal here is to really come up with a name so that you can start working on the site. You can always rebrand and rename the site at a later date. And so the domain that I went with, I actually have a site running right now, and it's called Active Vlogger. This is a site that I actually own right now, and it has some content on it, but it's definitely nowhere at the level that I wanted to be. And so that is the reason I decided to build a much beefier and a much more professional site. And so once I decided on a name as well as a domain name, I went ahead and registered the site. And in this case, this is going to be this site here. In your case, it might be something else. Now that I had the name, I had a domain name, the next step was to design the actual site. But before doing that, I figured it would make a lot of sense to work in parallel and collect the data for the new site at the same time. That's when I jumped over on Fiverr and ordered a data research gig, where I requested someone to go out and research for me various camera brands and models. Remember, when you are building an affiliate marketing website, the bulk of the effort, the bulk of your time will be spent on gathering the content. It's not really about design, because design is fairly simple and straightforward, as you're about to see. It's mostly about getting the content, because the more content you have, the beefier the content, the more information the content has, the more research you've done, the higher there is a chance for Google to take your site a lot more seriously and rank it higher in the search results. And so that is why I decided to offload and outsource the whole process of getting the content to a third party, in Fiverr in this case. And so while the Fiverr gig was being completed, I began working on the site design. I knew exactly how I wanted the site to look, but there's one problem when it comes to actually designing the site, is that I'm not particularly good at design and I hate designing things by hand. So I went ahead and downloaded and began using an awesome app called BLOCS that easily allows you to create any kind of site that you want. The best part is that after you're done with it, you can simply export the result and you have a ready-made site. And so if you just go to File, New, you can easily create a new project. I'm just gonna call it Site A. We're gonna leave this at all defaults. We're gonna click Done. And now we're gonna quickly design the site very, very easily. So one thing you wanna notice is that we only have one page. The way this site is gonna work is that if we go back to one of these sites here, let's say this old site that I have here, the way I envision the site is that it's gonna have a list of different cameras or different equipment here on the home page. But then when somebody is interested in the actual camera or a specific product, they're gonna click on it and they're gonna learn more about it. Let's say we go into cameras, we go into Sony cameras here and we click on this. This here is the home page, right? You have a home page with various pieces of equipment, but if you click on it, you're gonna be on the so-called detail page. And this detail page is gonna have a description about the camera. It's gonna have various specs. It's gonna have photography features, videography features, pros and cons, and it's also gonna have various other specs that will help somebody decide if this is the right product for them or not. And so when we are designing this page here in this app called Blocks, you really want to create 2 pages, because that's really what the site is gonna have. You're gonna have your home page here, this called home, and I'm gonna create another page called camera. Okay, I'm just gonna call, you can call it detail page, whatever you want, and I'm gonna click create. Now I have 2 pages. So the best part about this tool is that it allows you to easily design the site really easily without writing a single line of code, because all you have to do is click plus and you can easily add your first block. So now we're designing the homepage. The homepage is gonna be basically a list with maybe some pictures, a little bit of a description, and then a link. So if you click plus, I want something like this. This looks exactly what I want. We have an image, we have a little bit of a description, and then we have more info. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to create a menu really easily, and this is super easy to do. I just click plus and I scroll down, and we have some menus right here. Here we have navigation menu right, so it's gonna have a logo on the left hand side and a menu on the right hand side. We're gonna choose that, and we're gonna quickly create a menu. And so for the menu, we're gonna just mimic what I have here on the main site. So this main site has home, buying guides. At this point, we're just gonna ignore these, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have home, buying guides, about, and contact. And this is really easy to do using this tool. You just double click and you're gonna pull up the so-called menu manager, and you can simply add menu items. So we're gonna add a buying guides here. You're gonna have camera. Next we're gonna have about, and then we're gonna have contact. Now this camera is actually gonna be a menu, so we want to create another menu. We're gonna add a new menu, and we're gonna call this camera, and this is gonna be actually cameras maybe, and this is gonna have 4 specific brands, at least in the beginning. We can always improve it later. We can always add new brands later. And so the brands that I want to focus on is gonna be Canon, it's going to be, let's say, Sony, it's gonna be Panasonic, and Nikon. Okay, let's arrange it in alphabetical order. Let's actually delete this one, we don't need this. And so we're gonna have Canon, we're gonna have Nikon, Panasonic, Sony. I think that's about right. And now if we go back to primary menu, we can just go in here, double click on camera, and make it a open menu called cameras. So in other words, all of these other links are gonna go straight to the page, but this camera is gonna be a link to another menu, and then once you open that menu, it's gonna be links to pages. And so this is kind of what it looks like right now. And if we preview this page real quick, you're gonna see that we have a company name that we're gonna change a little bit later. We have all of these, and then if we click on this, you can see these menu items here, the specific brands here. And so that's pretty much it. The only thing that's left is, well, we need to change this here. We're gonna put the name of my site here. And the only thing that's left is actually to populate it with different camera models. And we're gonna get that data after the gig is done. After the gig is done, we're gonna get the data and we're gonna combine it together. And now that the home page is complete, let's go ahead and do the same thing for this, for the detail page. Now we have kind of 2 pages. We have this list page here, and now we have a detail page. And so this is pretty much complete, and you can also find a link to this tool in the description if you are interested in checking it out. And so the next step is to go to export. We can just do a quick export. I'm just gonna call it AV2. We're gonna hit save, and now it created an export. So if I go to my computer here and I go in here, I have the whole site. So I can actually open the site, and it's gonna load the site. And this is what the site looks like. We can go to the camera page, and so here's the detail page here. Here's the home page here. So pretty much the site is complete. The only thing that's left is to get the actual data, which is pretty much the hard part, and to combine it with all of this here. Fortunately, by the time I finished the design, the gig was finished and I had the whole data right in front of me. So this is what I got from the gig. I got a bunch of cameras, and right now I only have 214 cameras in 2 brands. So I have Nikon and I have Sony. The reason I asked for these 2 brands is that I wanted to know, first of all, is this gonna work? I wanted to test it out. Before I create a super mega site, I wanted just to test things out and to see if this is gonna work. And this is kind of what I got back. We have the brand, we have the model, we have the slug, and also we have the ASIN. ASIN is actually an Amazon code in their inventory, and this will allow us to create affiliate links quickly and easily. We also have a bunch of benefits, features. We also have the type of camera, body type, all of these things, all done for 214 cameras in this instance. And so the next step that we have to do is we have to get this data inside the site. We need a tool that will allow us to combine the 2 things together, generate the site, publish it, launch it, and then host it somewhere. And the tool we're going to be using is going to be a 100% free tool called Elder.js. And this is what it says. It's a static site generator, okay? And what this means is that it's going to take the data that you point at it. It's going to use the templates that you created using blocks. It's going to combine the 2, and it's going to spit out a fully working site with everything together. You still got to customize it a little bit, but it's actually very, very easy to do. Let me show you how to do it. Once I install this tool, it comes with a bunch of templates that are very, very easy to configure. And specifically, we have this home template and this camera template. And this home template is where we actually configure the way this is gonna look. And so, for example, this is the home template. This is what it looks like after we finish designing it in blocks. And now that I actually imported that template into this tool, I actually put in different things. So we have camera brand, we have camera model, camera slug. Slug is actually a link, a URL link. We also have an image here as well. And I'm using Nikon. I should be using a brand here, camera brand, because we also have Sony here. And this is what we have here. And now that I put this data here, it should actually go out and create this whole site for us. And so let's go ahead and preview what we have so far. And so once we combine the data with the site, with the template, this is what the template looks like now. We have the name, we have menus, and now we have all of these cameras here. There's some are missing, but that's not a problem. We just need to take a look and see if we have the right data, we have the right images. But most of the images are here. As you can see, you have different models. And what's nice about it is that you can actually click on more info, and that's going to redirect to the detail page with content on itself, right? So if we click on more info, we have Nikon Z7 description, buy from Amazon. This is not a working affiliate link just yet. We have an image, and then we have a couple of features here. We have 3 benefits here. So if we go in here, we can click on Nikon Z6 II. Here's the description, and here we have a couple of features. Let me go ahead and let me add more benefits so that you can see that we can change this in real time. To do that, you simply go to your spreadsheet and you take a look at benefits, right? So if you have, as you can see, there's all of these, well, I wouldn't say benefits, they're kind of specs. We have all of these MS0, MS1, MS2, MS3. These are specs in this sheet, and all you have to do is go back to your template here that you created before, and you just need to go in here and you need to enter those specs. So all you have to do is where you see these benefits 3, 4, 5, you can simply add more. So for instance, here I can do 4. Now if you go back to this page, we refresh it. As you can see, we have 3 benefits. This is a benefit, this is a benefit, this is a benefit, and then you have more benefits here. And obviously you're gonna have a lot of these benefits because on the sheet that I was given, there's a ton of benefits. A lot of these rows, they're all specs and they're all benefits. So that's gonna make it super easy for us to create a highly qualified page. And the beautiful thing about it is if you go to the home page, all of these pages have been generated already. I can click on Nikon D500. I can click on this and I have D500, buy from Amazon. And then I have various specs, right? So these specs are all gonna be different. As you can see, this is 860 grams. And if we go back and let's say we click on this camera, it's gonna have different specs. It's gonna have 4K recording. And then if you click on this camera here, on Nikon D880, this is weather sealed body, 900 grams. So depending on the data you have in your spreadsheet, this is all gonna be here. The next thing that we have to do is we have to actually host the site. And this is actually the best part. The way that we're building the site right now, there are actually a lot of really good hosting services that allow you to host the site absolutely free, really easily. And the hosting service that we're going to be using to host this site is called Cloudflare Pages. You may have heard about Cloudflare. They're an internet company. They're used to host sites and to make them faster. And now they have a really great product called Cloudflare Pages. And using this product, it's very easy to take what we have right now and host it on their platform super easily. So I'm gonna log in and I'm gonna create a new project for this brand new site that we built. And so now that I'm logged into Cloudflare Pages, all I need to do is click on create a project, follow the directions here, what they tell us, and then you're gonna have this site here configured. And so after we make any changes to the site, here's the site. It tells us success, your site was built and deployed to, and it's available at this URL. If we open this page right here, we can see that this site is working fine. There are some images that are missing, but that's fine. Perhaps it's just a naming issue, or we need to reach out to the person who worked on the gig and ask them to double check the images. But for the most part, we have the site work. If you click on more info, you have a page here. It's just not aligned perfectly. We still need to display the benefits. We need to display the description. But that's as easy as simply going to this document, creating another column, and having a description for the specific camera model. And so this kind of site will be able to support thousands upon thousands of different camera models. We can create buying guides, we can create blog articles, we're gonna have different cameras here. Everything and anything is gonna be available here. And so as soon as we make any changes to the site, all we have to do is modify it. As soon as we modify it, it's gonna get automatically launched. Another thing that we can do here is if we click on continue to project, we can set up a custom domain. And for you to do that, you can just follow instructions, custom domain, set up custom domains to point to your site, add a custom domain for your site. You can just click here and you can just add a custom domain, enter in a registered domain or a subdomain you own. And so I already own Active Logger. All I have to do is enter it, continue, and just follow the instructions there. If you don't have a domain, you can just purchase it. Once you do that, you'll just have to purchase it, and then you can just simply follow the instructions, and then you're gonna have a full site looking something like this with the various changes that you're gonna be making while you're developing it and maintaining it, hosted off your official domain. And so this is a great method because you can build any kind of site that you want in any kind of niche. And so once you know what kind of niche you want to work with, all you have to do is go out to Fiverr, find a gig that's gonna get you the kind of data that you need depending on what kind of niche you're gonna be working with. If it's gonna be cameras, you can just point this person to various camera brands websites. They're gonna find the specific specs and stats on that camera. If it's gonna be something like headphones, they can just go to that specific manufacturer and find that data, and then they're gonna give you that looks something similar to this, and then you can simply follow the instructions that I talked about in this video, and you can build your very own professional affiliate marketing site with thousands upon thousands of pages. That's going to be nicely ranked by Google, and you're going to be getting not only AdSense revenue, but you're also going to be getting Amazon affiliate income. All right, guys, so that is the method I wanted to share with you today. I really hope you've gotten value here. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all this. Like this video if you enjoyed it, smash that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in a future video.